broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Raw After Show right here on AFTERBUZZ TV. We are Johnny-less, and we are also waterless this week. Going through a drought.
There's a drought.
There's a drought, so it's really selfish if you drink water. But anyways, I'm Cathy Kelly. Sitting next to me, should be always, not as always, but should be always, Dale Rutledge.
Hey! How's it going?
I'm always so much happier when you sit next to me. It's not Johnny.
I know. Sorry, Johnny. I also didn't have a vest on today. Carrlyn stole my vest.
Oh, yeah.
Across from us.
Okay, go ahead.
Carrlyn Bathe.
Hi.
In Dale's vest?
No,
not
yes,
Dale's vest.
Dale's vest.
Dale's vest.
Definitely Dale's
She
vest.
raided my closet.
I definitely did.
And former WWE superstar shirt. Is that what we're calling him?
That's what we can call him.
Retired wrestler.
Can I say why I'm wearing it?
Why?
Okay. Because he came to a Kings game the other day. We were Kings against Islanders, and I work for the LA Kings. I'm their in-arena host, and Punk was at the game because he's frenemies with our mascot. So I nerded out hardcore. Real hard.
As well you should.
Has he replaced Dolph Ziggler in your heart now?
No, never. No one will ever
Temporarily, maybe.
replace Ziggler. Yeah, he did for a minute. I forgot who Ziggler. Ziggler who? What? Anyways.
Sitting next to Carrlyn, Chuck Rice.
Hey.
Or, as we like to call him, the stunt double.
Chuck Dow.
Chuck Dow.
Doing a much better job since 2000 and whenever AFTERBUZZ started.
If you can do a Bray Wyatt impression, that would be great.
Yeah, work on that, and then you'll really nail.
I've got the beard started. It sometimes goes there, right? It did used to be a lot more.
We're waiting for it.
Can you do it? If you want to be Johnny, Chuck Dow.
We're here.
Nailed it.
It's pretty good.
Not too shabby.
Johnny, you're out here.
I think Steve has died.
Been replaced. So let's talk about Raw. They were in Liverpool this week. Start off with Cena coming out to a lot of boos.
Poor Cena.
Talks about Team Authority versus Team Cena. Cena says that Zack Ryder is out for 6 months because of the Authority.
You can't even tweet about the Authority.
Can't even tweet about the Authority.
No.
We do want to talk about this injury for a second, though. Yeah. So what was it? He tore his rotor cuff at a house show.
Boy.
And now he's not even overseas with them right now. So he made a public tweet about it. Actually, the last tweet that I saw from him was saying he wasn't sure if he was even going into surgery and was like, I don't know why people are saying that, like just to clear some things up. So, but it sounded like they confirmed that in the ring on Raw. So
cue all the jokes about him being on Raw just as much over the next 6 months as he was the last 6 months.
Oh, Ryder, I love you.
Funny too because he tweeted something out very ambiguously at first, and he was like, "Got some news coming soon," and everyone's like, "Oh, Zack Ryder got released."
I was hoping he was coming back.
Yeah, I thought it was a new gimmick. Or he did get a new haircut, but that wasn't the announcement.
We love hair on here.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate, though.
Very unfortunate.
Well,
We
you know
wish
what?
you the best.
Maybe sometimes injury can be, especially for somebody like Ryder who hasn't really had a lot of TV time, it could be a blessing in disguise if he gets to come back with a bigger pop or some kind of new gimmick.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal wrestler. You know, that's the thing about it. People forget he was a tag team champion for a long time with Kurt Hawkins as the Edgeheads.
Yep. He was also, was it U.S. champ?
Yeah.
As well. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
Over.
And
I mean, he sold so much merch too.
Yeah, he did.
Like, can you think about the headband, fuzzy hat things?
He's always, he's always retweeting like
every kid was wearing
groomsmen parties dressed as him and like holding out their like tuxedo vests with like his t-shirts underneath. People, They love him.
He's over online.
Yeah.
I like that Cena
Always
likes
on
him
the
too.
internet.
He always tries to work him into something if he can. Like tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Well, he's over with the kids too, which is why it just doesn't make sense that they don't use him more.
Yeah.
Like, that seems to be their MO.
Yeah.
And he likes Ghostbusters. We could just keep going.
It's true.
He's
he loves
cool.
Ghostbusters.
Reasons
does.
why we like Zack Ryder.
Let's just
We
face
love
it,
you.
we're all broskies.
We are broskies.
Pound it.
So Cena continues and he says that Swagger is Team Cena.
One guy in the back was like,
What was your reaction? We're like,
I think I was more excited about that because it meant that Team Cena had Zeb Coulter on their side, not because
Yes.
of Jack Swagger.
yeah.
you know, it's interesting because just, what, a month, maybe 2 months ago, had they said this exact same thing, I think the crowd really would have been into
Yeah.
it. But we've had hide nor hair from Swagger for a minute.
Yeah.
At least storyline wise.
Yeah.
And the crowd showed that tonight when they announced it.
We were just confused.
But
Yeah.
it was still cool hearing an England crowd chant "We the People."
Yeah. Later on when he has his match, it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
he has a match against Rollins later, which we'll talk about as well. Then Cena says that Ziggler, of course, is on Team Cena, which we knew and we're all excited about. Then Ryback comes out.
Right back.
And he is in a match against Cena later, but just so over. I mean, it's been,
yeah.
2 weeks since his return?
This
and
is kind of like what we were talking about in hopes of how Ryder can come back, you know? I mean, the same thing happened for... Did I say Ryder? Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So the same thing happened for Ryback. Great.
the Rye guys.
It was not even... Was it a month and a half or so? I mean, he wasn't gone that long.
It was longer than a month and a half.
It's crazy to me because before he was out injured, no one really cared about him when he was teaming with Curtis Axel. Like, they just weren't doing anything. So to see him come back so strong and just be so over is kind of shocking to me.
Yeah, I love it. And the
Yeah.
crowd was definitely hot for him tonight.
I mean, whatever he's doing, it's right.
Yes. I think he has a good mix of humor capability with, like, looks like a hoss.
Yeah.
You know? So that's always
They
something
brought
I like.
back the Haas thing.
They brought back the hoss.
His personality is matching his image.
Yep.
Like, more than ever now. When he talks and he's got that gruff and growl in his voice, you believe him. It doesn't feel forced.
Yeah.
Like, it just...
He feels comfortable.
I'm so into him right now.
Even just little...
I don't know why. What the, why back? I don't know.
Ziggler who?
Yeah, right. I'm not being loyal.
I know. He just keeps keeping pushed down on your list, huh?
Yep. Ziggler, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Love you.
Gets pushed into couches, too.
That's...
Anyways,
Poor guy.
The Authority comes out with Mark Henry, and Triple H says to Cena, "Everything is on the line for the Authority. I will put the fear of God into your opponents, or into our opponents, because we're gonna demolish you."
Yeah.
essentially. And then Triple H also says, "You have swagger," and then just starts cracking up, which is hilarious. He's like, "You have little Ziggler."
Man, just burying people left and
Just-
right in this
I
thing.
mean, a-hole Triple H is on point.
So great.
Triple H has just been on point the last couple weeks. His
Yeah.
promos are just like
It's believable.
making fun of the fans almost for like the internet ones, especially that tweet
yeah.
him and stuff. And I'm loving it. And I'm also loving Angry Rick Ross on his team.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it looks like that could really be his personality. I think that's what makes it so believable.
Triple H.
Yeah.
Yeah, for him to be like, sure, it's swagger,
Yeah.
that's all, that's great. I don't know, there's something that just makes me feel
Yeah.
like he could really feel that way.
It really sounded like he was going to say something about Ziggler before Cena cut him off. Like, I didn't know if he was going to go like the he's been injured so much route or something, but then Cena cut him off right at that time, like, "Oh, you said the same thing about Daniel Bryan," and then
That
the yes chance
was
erupted. Yeah.
Beautiful.
That maybe was the hottest moment
That
the
timing.
crowd had. Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, props to Cena for that zinger, but
Absolutely.
also the crowd just blew up at that moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Props to Daniel Bryan for not having cut-ins every other week and still being relevant.
Yeah. They're not worried about him getting forgotten.
No. Steph then says the Authority makes or breaks careers, and Ryback does a spine buster to Cena.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? I'm not afraid of the Authority, but Cena don't write my checks, so here comes the spine buster.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, and John Cena called everybody wankers.
Yes.
That was great too.
Yeah.
Stephanie and Triple H, particularly.
Yeah, they called them
oh.
wankers. Sellout Stooge, sellout Shield, and sellout Sexual Chocolate.
The sexual chocolate thing was the best, though.
Yeah.
I really like in that segment where, you know, Stephanie was talking about Ryback could be the biggest monster in WWE, and they pan the camera over to Kane, and he's looking mighty pissed when she said that.
He did have a WTF expression on. I like
What
that.
the hell?
Yeah. Perfect timing on their part.
Yeah. There's some good camera work tonight overall. There's a lot of, I mean, some of the vignettes that they've been filming are just looking great, and they had some new angles. I mean, like that Ambrose thing backstage had really cool, like, camera work.
We were talking about how this show, it did progress some things forward a little bit, but it was more like they can't, when they're taping overseas, they can't really do anything super exciting or like spoilers. I mean, they're going to be spoilers because they tape it earlier.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they did a hell of a job tonight, I think, really building that Ryback storyline all basically tonight.
Yeah.
You know, that whole thing was created tonight. But on the flip side, I think they're doing a really mediocre job of really pushing Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt right now, because I feel like nothing's happening there.
Well, yeah, I mean, all the focus is on the traditional Survivor Series match, so this may be weird timing for the two of them to meet for the first time, but I think it has longer legs than just Survivor Series, so maybe they just want to get this one on the books and then get more crazy, heading down the line, because you want to see those two at TLC.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
I think it's okay.
Yeah. I think we were all kind of hoping for Bad News Barrett comeback, though.
Yeah. We did talk about him a lot tonight while watching.
That didn't happen.
No.
He's still injured, right?
As far as we know, I don't know what the coming back.
Come on,
Save him
guys,
for
don't you
Royal
know
Rumble.
he's the bunny?
That bunny ain't tall enough to be Wade Barrett.
We saw the bunny had a bun underneath.
Yes.
The bunny hat.
A bunny?
So.
When he
bunny
bent
bun.
over,
Bunny bun.
there was like a thingy. Yeah. What are those called?
Justin Gabriel.
Ponytail.
Bless you.
What? Thank you.
You have such a weird sneeze.
Sounds like you say things when you
Let's talk about Rollins versus Swagger. Swagger ends up winning, and we're all like, wait, he's got no momentum going into Survivor Series, but we realize that afterwards he was just injured, and this was the Authority's message to Team Cena, that anyone that decides to team up with him is going to, be done so.
We couldn't figure it out during the match. Like, they tricked us on this one pretty well, I think. But it wasn't until the doctor came in to shine the light into his eye after a kind of not best curb stomp performance. Then we were like, oh, of course, he's going out injured. And then he did another one, which actually helped out the angle quite a bit, I thought. Yeah.
I almost feel like that's what we thought was going to happen once they announced Swagger on the team, too. We were like, well, that's just going to lead to them finding a way to get him off the team because this isn't happening right now.
Are they going to do that to Sheamus, too?
Oh.
I hope so.
Yeah, we all hope so. We like everybody.
Team Cena tonight has been a roller coaster
This
of,
whole
okay,
Raw was a
someone's
roller
on,
coaster.
someone's off, someone's on, another person's on, but we don't really know if we want them on.
Yeah, we were like, what? Oh, yay!
Yeah. Lots of swerves
Like,
tonight.
They're toying with our hearts.
There's so
they
many
are.
things
But are
that
they?
make sense on Team Authority, and so many things where it's like, oh, we just got to do something with this guy. Oh, Team Cena needs a person. Let's put him there.
Well, it's good storytelling, though, because, okay, so Team Authority is all monsters. Whatever rendition we were getting, we're all going to be monsters on that team.
Yeah.
But you have to give a good reason why somebody would be on Team Cena, because otherwise they're going to get beat up or not get a paycheck. So you have to have people who have had them pushed to their limits as to why they would be on that team. And I think tonight they did a really good job, because Big Show has had a problem with the Authority forever, really. I mean, ever since that paycheck situation with Stephanie when he was crying all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, he still has unresolved issues there, I feel. But yeah, I thought it was done well. But yeah, we just all the time we were like up and down. It was great.
It was cray-cray.
What cray-cray?
Raw.
Ambrose backstage with some funky blue mood lighting that I think we all appreciated.
Staring like off to the side.
It looked like it was going to be an interview, but it wasn't.
No,
Yeah.
like you thought they would pan out to a two-shot with Renee Young, and it was like him just talking to the wall.
No,
that we
she's in
didn't see.
hiding because of freaking Rowan.
Yeah.
She like needs to get a restraining order or something. But Ambrose, he says he fights a lot of demons, doesn't hide from them. The Authority didn't put them out of their the Authority didn't put him out of his misery. Bray Wyatt certainly can't either. And then he says he hopes there's a place in hell for both of them.
What a amazing promo. So good.
Yeah.
It was almost Wyatt-like, you know, the way that he did that. So I don't know if it was like an ode or a... something.
I mean, like I said, I feel like this, like a lot of what they're taking for this feud right now is kind of a throwback to what Ambrose used to do, like on the Indies, and kind of, you know, that whole. Like I said, I don't remember all the details of it, but he had a storyline that had to do with like family elements and like his past and all that. And it seems like they're doing like a reincarnation of that almost, and it's good.
They're interjecting things about how his dad's not around and stuff like that, and kind of bringing meaning to why he's such a badass. Like, well, I'm this way because I don't have a parent. Like, you feel for him. People can relate to him.
You can get behind him.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that Grumpy Cat is in the chat roll. Giving some proprietary information.
Can you type without opposable thumbs? Oh, I guess if you just did pause.
Grumpy Cat has an assistant, I'm sure.
Have you seen the cat play piano?
I mean, while you're talking about Grumpy Cat for Raw next week, all of you need to go check out Lance Storm's Twitter because he won the internet tonight with his Grumpy Cat tweet. That's all you need to know. Go check it out.
Check it out.
It was pretty funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grumpy Cat.
Keep the suspense.
Yeah. So yeah, Ambrose. I think we're all excited for this feud.
This match is going to be phenomenal. I mean, these two guys in the ring together, and they're both
crazy.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know what's going to happen, and like I said, I think the payoff will be probably further down the line. But the two of them at TLC already gets me a little tingly.
I think that also.
Can you do that again with your fingers?
I'd rather not.
All of the backstage segments that we saw tonight, I feel like they had a little bit extra, or none of them were really that off, just because it seemed like they must have taped them all before.
Well, they knew they had the time,
matches,
right? Because since the whole thing was pre-recorded, then they could do a couple takes and not have to worry about it. And which I feel like there's probably a lesson there. Why not do a lot of for backstage segments?
Yeah.
Do you really need them to be live ever?
No.
You need them to be good. So if it takes a couple, do them ahead of the show. Or
Absolutely.
And it would probably make it less hectic.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on which segments. I feel like. I mean, when we've been backstage at shows, like they will tape something maybe multiple times, but the interviews they usually don't.
Interviews are always live, or at least as far as I know.
I think that segment towards the end when Sheamus came up was like, "I'm part of your team too," and you know, like you could tell that was kind of. I feel like that was recorded right then because his hair was still like he'd just gotten out of a swimming pool.
But had the flu.
But it was like funny when.
But then one of the Rusev ones, it looked like they filmed that before.
Yeah, and it was like
continuity.
Well,
who needs it?
We'll get to Sheamus, but man, he looked like he was just sweating so hard for the 3 hours of Raw.
Yeah.
Just, oh boy. Like is it the flu? Ebola?
Hey, they were working hard in that match, though.
Food poisoning. They worked, he worked hard. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Nuts.
Let's talk about Kane and Ryback in the locker room. Kane says he'll be out there to help him win tonight. Just follow his lead. And Ryback tells Kane to stay out of his way.
Yeah, when I want your advice, I'll ask for it.
Yeah.
Stay out of my way.
I need to smoke more to sound like it.
Yeah.
When I want your advice, I don't have a good Ryback.
I want your advice on that.
I think
that was good.
When we all saw this, we kind of knew, like, okay, Ryback's not staying on Team Authority.
No, but they kept teasing, like, all night there was tease for that Kane versus Ryback match. And I want to see that one.
That would be good.
Cool.
Like, but I want to see it, like, where it's, like, hardcore Kane, like, Monster Kane, you know, like, those two going at it.
Well, Stephanie had said at one point that, you know, Monster Kane will come up when he needs to. So maybe something like a match at TLC or something where they need it to be more extreme feeling. Maybe maybe that's be the thing. I feel like Survivor Series is just going to set up a lot of cool matches for TLC, like Fallout wise.
That's all Dale wants right now.
I'm just TLC, apparently focused on TLC.
TLC. When TLC happens, I'm getting tingly for TLC.
You want to talk about Rumble? I'm ready.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So this was another huge pop of the night when Paige came out for her match.
Oh yeah.
Obviously.
Did you see the Paige Friends section with it was basically the Cesaro section signs, but for Paige, it was a lot of folks.
Yeah. And she had the boots, she had everything.
Yep.
Repping the UK. Paige versus Alicia Fox. Of course, they had a fallout. No longer friends anymore. Alicia, very aggressive right as the bell rang.
I like it.
But Paige still got the win in her hometown.
Yeah. I kind of figured she would.
You thought so?
Yeah.
I feel like everyone always loses in their hometown.
Yeah.
It can happen, but overseas, I feel like, is sometimes a little different of a situation. But
It's always cool, too, to see how, like, the people that are supposed to be the heels, when they go overseas, all of a sudden they're, like, the monster babyface.
Yeah.
There's just not much you can do about that.
Do you think there's much gas on this, though? I mean, are we going to see these two do this for a while?
I don't think so.
We have the separate storylines going for a bit, but now Nikki and AJ have kind of merged into one.
I feel like we'll see it until they're done taping the rest of the season of Total Divas.
Right, correct.
Right, I forget that that ties into the show.
Yeah.
Which may not be that long. I mean,
I know,
it's a half season or whatever.
Yeah. And I honestly don't think that the camera crew went all the way to the UK to film with them, unless that's something that they want to bring in for whatever reason, but that would be really expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know, it depends. If the cast is already there, if they have a wedding that they always go somewhere crazy for, maybe London could be the place that they go and something happens there. Maybe. We'll see.
Not like they don't have the money to do it.
They could just be using the footage from the match, too.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times they
Sometimes, they
give
just
a little
do that.
story, yeah.
Well, I've noticed, though, for every single... I feel like for when they show matches on Total Divas, they use a specific Total Divas camera crew. Like, they'll have another camera crew out there.
Really?
Yeah, because that's what they did when they filmed at Access a couple years ago for Maria's reality show and Total Divas. And then they also had, whenever they were filming for Total Divas, they had an extra.
Yeah, they always have this weird, like, ringside shot that isn't televised.
Yeah.
That you, well, I mean, not televised on the programming, like, it's just on Total Divas. It's weird.
Exactly. It's because it's hard to get that footage.
Yeah.
I think.
And they always retell the match in a weird way that isn't really how the match went down.
Right.
Also, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't know.
They reinvent history.
Yeah.
WWE never does that, Dale.
Sometimes the matches on Total Divas are longer than they actually were.
I'm like, how did you make it longer? It's almost true.
My favorite thing of that match, though, is when JBL goes, "They love this non-tan diva." It's great.
He's always got a good zinger in him.
I know.
I feel like they're usually not on purpose either.
I know. Like,
He's
he
just like
says
speaking his mind.
And it's just so funny with his accent. Like, if anybody else said it that way, just...
Michael!
Yeah, Michael!
Michael!
I miss Alicia Fox's crazy...
Me too.
Girl, me too.
Yeah.
I'm with ya. Like, I want to see her throw somebody's popcorn again, like, pour drinks out, stomp on the announce table,
They're in
like,
the
whip
UK,
papers,
throw some fish and chips.
You've never done anything like that, have you?
Me? Never.
Wait a second.
You're like, where is something I could throw?
Don't let her get a popcorn thing.
Stable, right?
Get on the chair, stomp on it.
Do I look like I can get mad? Grr.
Nobody's believing you right now.
No, nobody. No.
So, backstage, Steph tries to recruit Rusev. She says, there's no such thing as politics in the WWE.
We all laughed so hard. Like, where is this go?
Oh, no. And then Steph calls Lana a Russian twit and says she'll scratch Lana's back if Lana scratches hers.
I just think that, like, they, like, her and Triple H just say certain things now just to, like, get a rise out of the fans and see, like, all the tweets they'll get and just to get the reaction, because there's no way you say something like that without knowing you're going to get a massive amount of...
Oh, absolutely. But if you think about what backlash truly is, it's a lot of people hashtagging WWE talking about the show.
Politics.
Yeah, I mean, it's smart.
Yeah. And...
Talk to Lindsay Lohan. Like,
it's genius.
Does it all
Amanda
wrong.
Bynes.
And then, but it's press. We still know who she is.
Yeah.
So
more eyes and ears.
that was a terrible analogy.
So everybody get messed up.
That was the worst analogy.
And tweet about it.
Although, it was really entertaining reading some of the tweets at the bottom of the screen because some of them just made no sense.
Rusev is a bad, bad man.
I want to know whose job it is to go through and, like, pick out the tweets that they're going to put on there.
I bet that's a fun job.
No, there is a job, yeah.
I know. I wish it was my job, because that just seems like it would be fun.
But you have to do it so quick, I bet, too, because it's like,
Yeah, but if you pick the wrong one, then
yeah,
you're
With
fired.
obscenities, explicit words, and
Yeah. That's got to be so many tweets to go through.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I mean, when every single wrestler's name is trending.
And something's always trending worldwide.
A lot to dig through.
Every show.
It's trending worldwide, Michael.
Think about all those Los Matadors tweets they got to go through.
Trending worldwide.
So, yeah, we'll see the aftermath of the whole Steph trying to recruit Rusev towards the end of the show. But we get a New Day promo from Xavier Woods.
So glorious.
Was this the same one that we saw last week?
It looked the same.
So they can show me that same one over and over, and I will still pop for it every time.
Yeah, it shot so freaking well.
Yeah. Looks like a music video.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Cool.
Yeah.
Everything about it's on point, and I love even the weird tension of him like, I just can't right now. I can't do it. Yes, I can! You know, just like, get this robe off of me!
Listen, like stealing him away from the mic.
It's so good to see that they're going to do something with them.
Yes.
Because, look, Dale, you and I know Xavier. He is probably one of the nicest people on that roster and truly deserves the shot.
Yeah,
so
and so well spoken and so athletic. I mean, he has all the pieces.
But he also helps other wrestlers in the company. Like, I've heard that he's
a great guy.
He was the one that like got Tyler Breeze kind of recognized by NXT. I mean, he was already signed at the time, but like he helped him out,
elevate.
and yeah, like he's a good dude,
a genuinely nice guy.
Yeah.
Like, known him for many years. Can't say enough nice things about him.
You guys had a great interview with him on Compadres. I remember it.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
I mean, like I was saying, he just, every time we talk to him, I just learned something new, and he also is a big video game nerd, so I love geeking out with him too. So I just hope for the best for him.
How close is he to his PhD?
It's close, but not super close.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know exactly the amount.
Like, think about that too for a second, because he was talking to us about that one time. Like, imagine, like, he's on the road all the time.
Yeah.
Imagine getting your PhD while doing a WWE schedule. I just want everyone that's listening to like think about that for a second. That's insane.
Hard.
So major kudos to him.
Yeah.
I could barely do high school because of my parents' house. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's a lot of effort and work.
Good
and
on him.
dedication.
Yeah.
Just like every star in the WWE.
Do we think that Xavier Woods is, when he and whoever else is with him finally debut, are they going to have a choir with them?
They better.
They should.
At least for the first intro. I would love to make that be a thing every time, but are they going to pay? Well, they have the Exotic Express. It would basically be the amount of people that Exotic Express would be.
Yeah,
but the Exotic Express is like they take, any wrestler person that can go out there.
Yeah,
you have to,
you could pay them.
You can't just get anyone to come up there and sing in a choir. Well, you could, but
a good choir.
They've had children's choirs before.
They'll put a Craigslist ad day of every show. Day of Craigslist ad. We need 20 women. $10 a pop.
That sounds really like every other Craigslist ad out there, actually.
Ew, yeah. Maybe it's not as hard as we thought
then.
I'm a bad ideasman.
I'm just curious how they used to get back in the day when The Godfather would come out. Like, how would you recruit people to do that? So we're gonna have you be a part of something called the Ho Train tonight.
They do this. Do you want to be on TV? Sold.
Yeah, right?
They have a line around the corner.
As that, yeah.
Backstage, Triple H and Steph watching Vince on their TV, and Vince is, telling Triple H and Stephanie different things. They kind of question, is he trying to tear them apart? They're like, as long as we have each other, we'll be good. And then kiss.
That's so cute.
I know, it was actually kind of adorable. I was like, I want to hate you.
It does make me wonder if this is, a planted seed for...
Divorce?
No. But something with the family, like, is Vince going to get upset with Stephanie, or Vince going to be upset with Triple H? We'll see.
They've been talking about since last year that Vince was supposed to be in a power struggle with Triple H. And
he's trying to get his baby back.
And they're going to say that they're talking about, well, this is the storyline we're resurfacing now. we'll see.
You know, those are seeds for them turning against each other. I don't think it'll go that far, but there's definitely, like, Vince is trying to take down the authority. Why else would he be doing that when Triple H is the head of the authority?
Yeah.
I would love to see him and Stephanie get torn apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Because she's daddy's girl.
Even if it's just, like, them being confused for a while and, like, they're
and then he's like the lonely, like, battered, like, no, you know, he's got no motivation and he's just showing up to Raw like, what'd I do? Take me back. And then she's like the power woman with Vince, and they're all, I don't know.
I don't know. I can't see Triple H in that role.
No.
Nope.
I was going to say they just both try to wear the pants in the relationship and end up fighting because of it, and then finally realize that it's Vince is doing the entire time.
Puppeting.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Puppeting. Coaching.
But that's a role or a way to get Vince involved without having him on TV every single week.
Yeah.
You know?
TV
They
on
can
TV.
reference
They
him.
can have him on a TV while he's on TV.
Exactly.
Good. Glad we agree.
We're on the same page.
Yeah.
They're inceptioning it.
Yeah. Yes. Vinception.
I like
I'm on fire.
That was pretty good, actually. I like that.
Thanks, guys. I'm here for another
Trending
35
worldwide.
minutes.
Vinception.
Hashtag Vinception.
Vinception.
Let me know what you think.
Trending worldwide already.
Trending worldwide.
Yep, there it is. Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's working.
So Rusev and Lana come to the ring for their official ceremony. I don't even know what it is. It was a official something.
Yeah.
Official pat on the back
Yeah.
to themselves.
He won the U.S. Championship last week on the network after Raw. If you stayed up late enough
Which
to
you
watch
can
it live,
get
or
for
Free.
free.
Free
99.
this
Free
month.
99.
We were talking about whether that was a good move or not to have him win that on the network. You said that.
I disagree that I mean, look, it makes sense. I get it. It worked, but I feel like WWE's asking a lot of people when you just sat through 3 hours of Raw. You know, that's a lot of wrestling to watch, especially with all their other programming in the week that we're expected to watch, even if it's just the live or wrestling shows, you know, with the main events, SmackDown, NXT, and Raw. And then to add extra, I mean, I get it. It makes sense. But that's a lot to ask of people.
I mean, I think their goal ultimately is they're very smart. Like, this is the first kind of network online of its type where it's dedicated to one product. And I mean, eventually, everyone kind of knows this. TV as we know it will be obsolete in however many years, 5 years, 10 years.
That's a bold statement.
Oh my gosh, it's so
a very
true.
true
It's so
statement.
true.
Even the
So
TV
true.
advertisers have kind of started.
Yeah, that's why,
speaking on
like,
it.
Hulu, Netflix, all of those subscription
it's, like,
services
scary.
you can now buy HBO just on the go. Like, you don't have to have
It's called HBO Go.
Go. Yeah, you can buy that version of HBO, and you don't have to have it. You don't have to have tied down to a TV.
You can watch any show, like any show you're watching,
On
you
demand,
can find
yeah.
on demand somewhere. And the crazier thing about it is too, like all the shows you watch in syndication, where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna turn this on to go to sleep late at night. Like, for instance, Friends, one of the most, you know, over saturated shows out there, where it's everywhere. Now it's gonna be streaming on Netflix come
I know.
January.
Friends
So
It's
it's
so
like,
over.
But that's, I mean, Ross and Rachel, I mean, come on. For life. But, I mean, this network, it is the first of its kind. We're only going to see more
Right.
companies doing this kind of thing. But I think that it was smart of them. It's the same concept of getting Showtime or HBO the month for free. So they hook a lot of people. They do something big so that you have to sign up. They hook a lot of people, and then you just end up staying with
I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying that, you know, I feel like there's more creative ways they could possibly do it that don't require you watching it right after you've sat through 3 hours
They
of Raw.
literally expect so much of us wrestling fans. It's like, listen, guys, you can't have a life, really, because we've got Raw.
Yeah.
We've got Main Event.
They're just-
we've got
I was thinking,
Superstars.
but, like,
we've got SmackDown.
When are they going to do it? Like a random, you know, Wednesday? Like, it doesn't
There's
make
so
sense
much.
to do it. I feel like after Raw was the best time that they could do it because
Yeah.
they were promoting it, and then people were like, oh, I'm going to go do it right now, as opposed to potentially setting an alarm to watch something.
You're already
like,
engaged and you're watching. And to your point too, they want you to go on and dig around. I mean, the whole point of the network is to watch it whenever it's good for you. So you know, to say that it's 20 minutes more on top of 3 hours. I mean, the network is just all watching wrestling.
Then you're there for 6 hours.
And they couldn't have done it
up old ECW.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everything, and you're like, wow.
They couldn't have done it before the show. Like that doesn't make sense because they had to promote it.
Yeah.
And you know, remind people to watch it. So I think. Yeah.
They have to find new ways to pique your interest, because if you haven't already signed up, then what is going to draw you in? Yeah. Is it a special event like this of just one match, or is it the pay-per-views, or is it, you know? So I think they're just playing around with it, see what works.
They're not going to do it every single week, clearly.
No, I mean, it definitely worked. I see, like I said, I understand, and I see the logic of it.
They just ask a lot.
Yeah,
we're slaves.
After 3 hours of Raw, I'm like,
you don't have to watch if you don't want to.
You gotta pick and choose.
It's hard to like things in life. Like, it's hard to live. I'm a sports fan, and that's a lot to like a team and watch them 2 to 3 times a week.
Watching TV is so tough.
So much.
Your life sounds really hard.
It's hard. It's harder than high school. That was hard.
High school must have been rough.
Yeah, you had a lot of high school issues.
Can we talk about it? Because it was hard.
Maybe we can do a high school AFTERBUZZ for you later.
So, yes, this Rusev and Lana thing, they come to the ring for their official, unofficial ceremony, and I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that the guy who read Putin's letter was not Russian.
Yeah, I don't know if that's...
Was he supposed to be?
Yes.
The terrible accent he was trying to pull off didn't give it away?
No, I thought he was some weird British person on behalf of the British people, but he didn't sound British.
He might have been British. I mean, maybe that was...
The British person
I think that he was probably a wrestler or something from...
A Russian.
They're like, which one of you can do the best one? And he was it.
I have to say, though, Rusev just continues to like excel at this gimmick, you know, because a lot of the times in the past when you have people playing like a foreigner, the heel character like that,
they plateau.
It just doesn't have a lot of.
I was bored for a couple months, and now I'm actually like, oh, okay.
But like because he's never done anything overtly heelish. It's just like, I'm a very prideful countryman, and this is my country, and you can't beat me, and I'm showing my pride, and it's
my
like
thighs are huge.
It's like. Well, you're not really doing anything like evil per se, but I still hate you just because of it, and you're doing it so well, but you're also so entertaining to watch. Hands down, he is one of my favorite people on the roster right now.
And Lana really helps get him over to that hatred side. I don't know that Rusev does it, but Lana kind of is there to poke you with her offensive statements.
Well, she's a great manager. You know, like the art of a good manager is kind of lost right now, and she's really good at it. I mean, I think she can still get better, but she's doing a really good job.
Yeah.
And for only being with the company less than 2 years.
She was just in a movie not that long ago.
Yeah.
Doing a whole different direction. So, good for her.
What was that movie?
Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect, yeah.
She was in the first one too, right?
Well, she's not in the second one.
Yeah, there's only been one so far.
There's Pitch Perfect 1.
Well, she's
in the second one too.
I don't think she's in the second one.
I thought she was in the second one, and then she was like in. I don't know. Chat roll. Let me know. IMDb.
Well, it hasn't come out.
I just want to know how she didn't make it into WWE's Queens of the Ring or whatever that movie's supposed to be.
What was that? I still don't know.
I
don't really know.
We kind of fast forwarded through it.
But this match was match of the night, I thought. If you're talking about Rusev and the way that he has been evolving, they're letting him have much better matches now, too. Because he was just squashing people for how long? And that can only be entertaining up to a point.
Yeah.
I was really excited when they were playing the Russian national anthem and then Sheamus's music hit.
And then he just dropped the mic, though. That was hilarious. Oh my God. Respect and rise for the Russian national anthem.
I think that's the first time anybody's been excited for Sheamus's music.
I know.
It was funny how respectful that they're in the UK, right? Liverpool or something. Where were they tonight? Yeah, something. They were so respectful of the Russian culture. Like nobody really booed. Like it was kind of funny.
Lana had to like pull teeth essentially. She was like, "Well, if it weren't for the Russians, then you would all be speaking German right now."
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, boo!" They're so polite. They're so polite. It's ridiculous.
I don't know if it's a polite thing or they just didn't care about this gimmick because they're not the U.S.
Yeah, the hate is towards America, not towards them. They're like, you know what? You're kind of right. We don't love America that much either.
Exactly.
Don't bless that USA.
Yeah. But what did you think about this?
I mean, it was definitely match of the night for me. They gave it a lot of room to breathe. I mean, we talked about Sheamus just look exhausted afterwards because they put so much effort into it. Yeah,
like, this is.
But for because they specialized the first time around, it was nice that they gave this so much room to just really live.
Yeah.
And I thought both guys delivered. I mean, you can say
I'm not a fan of Sheamus, but he's doing a good job in this storyline. I'm gonna give him his due.
It still boils down to me for him not having a proper character, to just be a guy who likes to fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course you do. You're in the WWE. Like,
he's basically stealing Finley's old gimmick, and that's part of what I think rubs me the wrong way about it.
But he's not stealing it. They just didn't have anything more creative to give him. They're like, yeah, you got red hair, Irish, I guess. They say, okay.
You're pale.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel bad for him because he is so good in the ring, and he looks intimidating. Like, I mean, he is quite a sizable dude.
He's someone who could have been, when he was injured, repackaged, and they could have done something else.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy has a bit of a comedic side to him too. Why don't they embrace that a little bit more?
He's good on the mic. Like, it's not like he's terrible or painful to watch and listen to. Like, they just don't let him, like you said, breathe.
He's very vanilla.
Vanilla.
Oh, come on now.
Gosh. Sexual vanilla.
That could be a gimmick.
Yep.
It's never been used before.
That would actually be funny. Sexual vanilla.
Oh my lord. That would be the only good reason to bring that gimmick back.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it.
But this was a very physical bout between these two. I mean, they really let each other have it.
There's a lot of athleticism in it.
Yeah.
It was great. It was spunky, sweaty.
But it's still kind of at that point, as good as the match was, it's still at that point. I mean, besides the fact that he just won the title last week, he's not going to lose proper to Sheamus on a Monday. It just didn't seem like...
On a Monday.
It's hard, as much as I enjoy the match, it's hard to suspend my disbelief that he's going to lose his streak.
Oh, but it's easier for you. But it's easier for you to believe that someone like Rey Mysterio will be Big Show, huh?
That is it.
But I kind of liked. Do you remember the Ziggler Miz route where Ziggler won and then I think Miz rematched him right away and then Miz won it back and then Ziggler won it back. Like I kind of do
same
like
thing with AJ and Paige.
Yeah, like I do like when it does change hands. Like I don't like when you can predict that it won't change hands. Like, oh, this one's gonna be a count out or DQ. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I do like when it's like, oh, he won it back.
These two are pretty evenly matched up. Like,
absolutely.
It could
that's
go
exciting.
back and forth. And what are they saying at the beginning of his song? It's a shame, lobster head. What is this?
We should look it up.
I don't know what it is.
We should look it up.
Something pain.
Something lobster head.
Pain.
Lobster head. Yep.
Is it?
Yep.
Really?
No.
Chat roll.
Chat roll. Let me know.
Hey, you know what? We're just gonna say it's lobster head because
that's
that's
what I've
awesome.
been saying. Yeah. I sing along to it.
I just can't imagine.
Blue, I'm a bee, I'm a fly. Is that like where we're going with this?
That sounds like it. Yeah. When he first came out with that music, though, I mean, he was like a beast. I don't think they would call him lobster head. I mean, it's possible, but
if I'm right,
I will get you a lobster.
I love lobster. I'm from Maine. That's my favorite food.
All right.
Okay.
It's on. We'll Google it in a minute.
Yeah, thank you.
So the Authority helped Rusev retain. And then backstage, 15 minutes later, after Steph approached them the first time, Steph comes back and is like, did you have any time to think about it?
Have you thought about it since you were in the ring this whole time?
You want to join Team Authority? Lana says, yes. They will join them.
I honestly wasn't sure how they were going to go with this because she was being so annoying about it. I thought maybe they would be like, you know what? No, we're not going to do it.
Lana's a businesswoman. No, she knows what's good for her client.
Swerve right there when she goes, we don't care what Putin thinks. We care about what the Authority thinks.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to reel back and be like, oh, no, okay, we're not on your team then.
Well, that's I think what's unpredictable about Survivor Series is you don't know, even though these teams are set, anyone could leave the team at any time.
Think about tonight. It was just here, there, you're here, I'm there. No,
and don't forget you got Randy Orton around there somewhere too who's going to get involved somehow.
Yeah, for sure. And
he'll come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I've never thought about that.
Has he done that before?
Nope.
Didn't think so.
And the only people that have any real allegiance to Team Authority is Seth Rollins and Kane. So I feel like everybody else is kind of a wild card. And even on... I mean, Ryback could change his mind again. We don't know. So, I don't know. I like that they're making this such a
Do we know where Ryback stands right now? Like, do we?
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it, yeah. I mean, the next segment that we're going to talk about, Rollins and Ryback are now in the locker room, and Ryback's doing the resistance bands, which was hilarious.
I love that. I don't know why.
Just like, I mean, that kind of makes it more believable that he's like doing something well.
And he was like with the perfect form, like every time it was just, and not paying any attention.
Nope.
Loved it.
Rollins says Ryback doesn't need to take orders from Kane. He should take orders from him. And I don't know. We were just like, yeah, Ryback's definitely switching sides.
Yeah, we were pretty convinced at this point.
Yeah. Next match, I'm really excited for this. Los Matadores with Torito. And then Mizdow, Miz, and Mini Miz.
Mini Miz.
Horn Miz. Well, they called him Mini Miz.
I feel like that was more like Mizdow stunt double.
I know.
It was great.
I wish that they had done it. We were talking about this while we were watching. I wish that Hornswoggle was watching Mizdow instead of watching Miz, so that it would have been like so far off with like everything
like
that they were doing.
Like a bad game of telephone.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
And sort of like a reward for being such a good stunt double. You get your own stunt double.
do you guys think that's gonna stick, or do you think they just had Hornswoggle there because they're in the UK and the kids like him? And
I think maybe we're gonna get a tag match at the pay-per-view, and so maybe they threw him in just because I think both these teams have a potential of, if they do like a,
I think there's gonna be some sort of tag title match, and those two teams will be involved.
Yeah.
Maybe the
it was
Usos.
funny whether it was a one-off or they continue it.
They don't need to continue it, but
I
thought it was.
It was a nice little pop.
Yeah, it was good for tonight.
Yeah,
for sure.
So Miz ends up winning because Mizdow holds one of the Matador's legs.
Poor Miz. I don't often say that, but poor Miz during this match, because anytime Mizdow wasn't involved in the action, the audience was asleep because they don't care about Los Matadores.
Yep.
And they don't really care about Miz. So I mean, he was trying to get them even mad at him during some of his actions, and they still just weren't. They just wanted Mizdow in that ring.
That's all
that
they
really mattered.
That's a good point. I mean,
I think it's safe to say, and if you guys disagree with me, by all means, please, but
we'll let you know.
I think that Mizdow, or Damien Sandow, whatever you want to call him, has the potential that he could be a WWE champion and be a damn good one.
Yeah, I definitely see that, down the road for him. He never won the tag team title. Did he win an individual title? Like US or no, right?
Was he Intercontinental?
He was Money in the Bank for a while. No. The match he had with Cena when he cashed in was phenomenal.
Yeah, lost that match.
But he didn't get it.
So yeah, I would like to see him. I honestly thought that this was going to where Miz would keep a title on him.
I think it's going
and they would feud.
I think it's going to go to that, just like you saw the tag that Miz did to him during the match. Yeah. And I feel like there's a little bit of that brewing.
Yeah, I think we'll get there. I just think it's a ways off.
Slow burn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because everybody is loving it. There's no reason to change it right now.
When would you want to see it potentially happen?
WrestleMania.
TLC sounds like a good pay-per-view.
Oh my god.
Tables, ladders, and hornswoggles.
I'm gonna unplug your TV that night. See what happens.
I watch it on the web.
Well,
nice try.
Take your iPad
because he has the network.
That's right.
Hey, guess what? You can watch it anywhere, even on your phone.
He could watch it on his phone.
Oh, it's true, and it's free.
Yep.
I hide all your electronics.
Oh, it's gonna take a lot of work.
I'm not that mean.
Backups.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see it. I don't think we'll make it to WrestleMania with it. I mean, we can't have every grudge match go to WrestleMania, but
I just want to see Sandow get his big WrestleMania moment. Like, he deserves it, and I feel like that's one of those moments that the fans would really appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, but has he even had a match at WrestleMania yet? I can't recall.
I mean, I honestly, off the top of my head, can't remember what he's done the past couple years in it, but like, he's a guy that's put in his dues, and he's a guy that's over, and he's a guy that the fans like, and he's always kind of battling uphill. I mean, it wouldn't be as huge of a payoff as like the Daniel Bryan moment, but I feel like he's one of those guys that the fans like get behind.
He was scheduled for the 8-person mixed tag match at WrestleMania 29, and that was the one that was cut because of not enough time.
That's right, with the Bella twins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it has to necessarily be this. Just to have him at WrestleMania would be good. I feel like this almost feels like that Raw right after Mania.
Yeah.
They save a lot of really satisfying nuggets of storytelling for that night.
I just really like comedic Damien Sandow, and I feel like if he was to be a title holder, he would have to be serious Damien Sandow, and then it wouldn't. I mean, like, I know that he's capable of that, but we would be missing a lot on.
You bring up a good point. I think we're way more likely to get them as tag champs than we are to get him on his own.
But why would he have to be a serious champion? Like,
well, who is he going to mimic? If I mean, the whole fun of this.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, like,
just in general, you're saying more in generalities. You feel like we wouldn't get to appreciate the comedy of him as a champion.
Yeah.
But I mean, like The Rock was always like a good champion.
I was just thinking that he would have
funny,
to be
but it's a different kind of funny.
He's funny because
like Damien pokes fun at himself,
right? Like The Rock is intimidating. He's a bad MFer. He's like,
but he could bring back the intellectual savior gimmick, and that's funny and still serious and was over.
Yeah. True.
We're running low on.
True dat. On time? Yeah.
Oh no!
So let's talk about, where are we? Ziggler and Cena in the locker room. They talk about Swagger is out.
Just something about the delivery of saying that Swagger was out was so funny to me.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, Swagger's gone, so.
It was so brushed over. It was
Poor
not even mentioned.
Poor Swag.
So, yeah, Swagger's out. Cena says Ziggler can jump ship if he wants, but Ziggler says he doesn't want to. Then Triple H enters, very smug, and starts singing.
A little dance almost.
Another one bites the dust. Just
so good.
Yeah.
What did he do? He was just, I don't know.
Just like
that. Those cocking the shoulder rolls.
Just a jackass.
Yeah.
A little dancing jackass.
Yeah. Ziggler in the ring. He's getting haunted by some eyes. Luke Harper's eyes, we think.
Yeah.
That promo was kind of creepy, even though it was just eyes.
Yeah.
And you could see the contact. He forgot to take his contacts.
And I didn't understand the timing of this. I mean, it just pops up randomly anyways.
To intimidate him right before his match.
But knowing what we know later, it made more sense that this was in the middle of Ziggler's match.
Yeah.
I didn't really put that together.
Yeah. So Ziggler versus Mark Henry. Of course, the Authority is out to just destroy everyone who is associated with Cena at this point. Mark Henry with the chair to Dolph's face.
Good
That was one of the craziest things I've seen in a while.
Dude.
I don't know how you absorb that except painfully.
You don't. Yeah.
And we know he's like the master of sells. Like he can sell anything.
That worries me because he's also the master of getting concussions.
That's true.
I mean, yeah, you wouldn't think you'd take that risk in that particular moment.
Once you've gotten one, I think you're more susceptible to get more.
He was like right next to him, and
that was a concussion waiting to happen.
He made eye contact with the temple of his head and was like,
yeah,
like do not be surprised if tomorrow or like whenever, a couple days from now, like, well, Ziggler can't compete because he's out with a concussion.
Oh, don't say that.
Send him a get well better tweet.
There was a good Ziggler throwing Mark Henry over the barricade that looked really nice as well. That didn't look like he got a concussion.
But after the chair, then Henry threw him into the stairs.
Brings
and
tried
him back
to get
in
the
the
stairs
ring.
in. Yep.
And then
Whoa!
Big Show comes to save the day.
Big Show.
Yeah. Attacks Henry. Show then throws the stairs that were in the ring over the top rope while Henry's walking up the ramp. And it looks like if the stairs had gone a little bit to the right, it definitely would have hit a fan.
A very little bit. It tapped somebody's, somebody had a belt hanging just on the other side and knocked into the belt. So just a few more inches would have knocked into the head.
It would have been a very rich WWE fan.
Yep.
I gotta get me that
just
seat.
waiting to happen. They're like, don't do that one again.
I want to go to WrestleMania with him. Gonna get good seats.
So yeah, that was just crazy. But then Show said, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Pause.
As he says.
I joined Team Cena.
As he should.
Yeah.
We felt like this was coming.
I love that he announced it before he even told Cena the way they said it. He was like, by the way, I'm on your team now.
I mean, we were all really excited for this.
I thought it was good. I mean,
it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Yep. It does. Kofi Kingston.
Yes, indeed.
In another New Day promo.
I liked this a lot.
Yeah.
He showed character. His hair looked good.
His hair looked great.
I like those shoes.
Wear it in a bun more often.
A lot of buns going on.
Maybe he was in the rabbit suit.
I know that they've been hanging out together, you know, in a lot of like off TV moments, but I didn't know. I thought this was Xavier's angle.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to include, so I was super excited.
Surprising.
Well, that's what they kind of teased this months and months ago, that it was going to be Xavier, Xavier R-Truth. Oh,
Big
it was
E.
Big
It was
E?
just Big E.
Oh, okay.
Xavier.
I'm waiting until we
Kofi,
get the
okay.
Big E New Day promo. That's going to be one of the most
I
glorious
thought we were going to get that tonight.
Yeah.
But, probably next week then.
Dragging it out pretty good.
But you know, I'm really excited for that little faction too, whatever they want to call it. You know, I know a lot of people are like, oh, the new Nation of Domination. No, it's not, but whatever. Like, whatever you want to call it, that's going to be a fun faction to watch because the three of them are actually like friends.
Yeah.
Outside of the ring and outside of like what we see on TV,
They
so they
all
have
got
good chemistry.
really good personalities too.
Yeah,
Like,
and they're gonna have
Absolutely.
great chemistry together.
I hope they bring some humor into whatever their
Oh, I'm
thing is.
sure
Oh
of
yeah.
it.
I can't wait.
Yeah. So Cena, Ziggler, and Big Show backstage, and they're talking. They're like, "We need 2 more." And who joins their team but Sheamus?
I was like, it's going to be a
We
tag
need
team.
1 more.
You need one more, brother. I don't even know what he said, but it's something like
Something
that.
like that, yeah.
Yep.
Boy.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes. Who do we think will be lucky number 5?
I have a dumb question. Really dumb. Like, this is so dumb. I'm wondering that if maybe would Dean Ambrose have 2 matches in one night?
He's crazy enough to do that.
Like, would they?
could.
Would they?
I don't see a
Cut the music now.
I feel like Randy Orton and Ryback are such strong possibilities at this stage that I don't
That's
know
right.
if they
Look,
need.
Yeah,
there's
that's
no way
right.
if Randy Orton is back from shooting the movie or whatever by that time, he will be involved in that match somehow.
Would they up it to 6 people per team so they can?
They could.
make
They've
some
done
room?
7 in the past.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
I know they've done 7.
Can Daniel Bryan just get better already?
Seriously.
Please. Just
That would
anytime.
make Survivor Series.
Spoiler alert: CM Punk will be on one of the teams.
Don't tell people that.
Oh, they'll get so excited.
Yeah.
God, I wish.
I'm just kidding, guys.
Promoting
I'm
Queens of
just
the Ring.
kidding.
So let's talk about the second Divas match of the night, actually.
Yep.
I like that we're getting 2 again. AJ Lee versus Brie Bella. We see earlier in the night Mickey calling Brie Cinderbella. And then during the match, Nikki attacks AJ, gets Brie DQ'd. So,
And then attacks AJ.
Yeah.
Rack attack.
yep.
That's just too funny.
I think this match has
Rack
potential for a Survivor Series. I think it could be a good match.
Yeah.
They both do well in the ring.
You
So.
mean Nikki versus
Nikki,
AJ?
yeah, Nikki.
Yeah.
Is this Brie thing?
Nikki's
How
got
soon
it.
to this Brie thing being over are we?
A couple weeks.
Okay, I'm good with it.
Her as her assistant?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 30 days.
Yeah.
Right?
So we're like, what?
I think
a
it would
week
be
or two
cool for
into it?
Nikki to
Week and a
take
half.
the title and then Brie to beat her for it when this whole thing is up.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I think that's a really
Yeah.
good plan, and I also think that they almost want to put it on. I don't know. I feel like they might want to put it on Nikki just to like dispel this rumor that no Total Divas person will ever win the title. They're like,
Right.
shut up with these rumors.
Well, either way, we're going to be like, oh, the internet was wrong. Or oh, everyone's right. Yep.
So it's good. It'll get people talking either
Yeah.
way.
Let's talk about Henry and Ryback. They have some words backstage in the final segment of all of this. Ryback says, definitely not staying Team Authority. No, he's, I don't know.
What now?
Brain fart.
I don't even. Words. No,
Basically, just another guy talking down to him, right?
we fast forwarded through the segment because we're like
We knew where it was
short on
going.
time.
We were behind. Wait, is this
I was
the
like
one
trying to find it in
everyone's
my
banned
notes.
from ringside? Is that that
That's
one?
later. Triple H announces that. Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, just Henry probably says the same thing to Ryback. Listen
Yeah,
to him.
yeah, you
And
know.
then, yeah.
Puts him down.
Team Authority.
Yeah.
go.
No respect.
Go
I
team.
don't have one note about that.
You're like, don't you remember our
Because we
WrestleMania
fast-forwarded
match
through.
a couple years ago or something? Or our match? That's what he was talking about. Our last match we had with each other.
We were more excited about the Bunny and Adam
I know.
Rose.
Adam Rose versus Tyson Kidd. Adam Rose has a beef with the Bunny, made him lose to R-Truth on SmackDown. And then during this match, this was the weird part though, Rowan comes out and just circles around the ring and goes, "Where is she? She's not here."
And we're
Looking
like,
for Renee?
she's never here, dummy.
Yeah, like you're looking in the wrong
Lillian
place. Are
Garcia
you
sitting there
dumb?
like, what, I'm not good enough for you?
Yeah.
I'm right here.
Are you lost, large man? The Bunny then causes a distraction on the top rope. You would think that Rowan would be a distraction, but
Yeah.
the Bunny causes another distraction, causes Rose to lose. Tyson Kidd does the sharpshooter, and Rose taps out.
2 Raws in a row for Tyson.
Looking fly in his blue gear,
Yep.
too.
Adam Rose is about to become, what's his name, Elmer Fudd and go rabbit hunting.
Yeah, something's got to break down
Yeah.
here because they kind of dropped this for so long, and now they're going back to it. We got to see this culminate. Maybe
After
we were
the
saying
match, Rose kicks the Easter Bunny and the Easter eggs.
and then goes back to party town all the time.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with that. Backstage, Triple H, Steph, Rollins, Henry Rusev.
Here we go.
Kane. This is the one we were talking about.
I took
Are you
notes.
ready for it? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
do it. You-
They say that Ryback has bad attitude, and then Ryback walks up, and they were like just talking about him, so it's super awkward.
Awkward.
Yeah. Steph says they all need to be on the same page.
I feel like I'm talking to a bunch of kindergartners.
Are you talking about me behind my Ryback?
Yep.
We already knew he wasn't going to do it, but this kind of sealed the deal.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, definitely. Since we only have a couple minutes left, we'll make this quick.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. Wyatt promo cuts a promo on Ambrose. Says, "Your choice, Dean. Walk with me, enjoy the path of righteousness, or walk away and burn for it." Mm-hmm. Always good.
It was pretty good.
Heyman promoting ECW Exposed, which is a live special on the network following Raw. Didn't really say much. His client, Brock Lesnar, blah, blah, blah.
We miss all the good post-Raw
ECW.
stuff.
Yeah. If you watched it, let us know in the comments how it was.
Yeah, see how it went. I'll watch it later.
Cena versus Ryback in the main event of the night. The Authority ringside. Kane gets involved, ends up with a DQ. Kane and Ryback about to go at it. Rollins gets in the middle, and then Ryback actually attacks Rollins. Kane then attacks Ryback. Everybody attacks Cena. And then Sheamus and Big Show come out to save him. We're all like, "Where's Ziggler?" Then we realize that Ziggler's injured. Not actually, just for storyline, we hope. Even though that chair was kind of intense. Ryback shell shocks Kane. That's how we think we're going to end Raw. But it's not.
It's not. We get a little more Ziggler. We find out where he is exactly.
If he wasn't concussed before.
Definitely now. Backstage, Harper, well, we don't see Harper at first, just throws Ziggler
Just Ziggler flying across
into
the
the
room.
couch.
It's like he came
in
out of
front
a
the
black hole.
Authority.
Just like,
Ziggler out of nowhere.
Stephanie's facial reaction to that was amazing, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And then Harper just says, "I'm a team player."
Player.
I did not see that coming.
No.
It makes sense to me, but it also doesn't, you know? Like, they just went on this whole thing about we're taking them off of Team Wyatt. They're going to go on their own and be their own men. And then he comes up and he's like, first thing he does is like, "I'm ready to be a part of a team." It makes sense.
It's a different
Yeah.
team, though.
Yeah.
it's just a team for one night. So it's like,
Yeah.
he could,
What's his reasoning behind wanting to join the Authority? That's what I don't get right now.
right.
We'll find out next
We
week.
will find
Find out next week. And I'm also hoping next week we get that Ryback-Kane match because I feel like that'll be something to
That would be a
do after the
pay-per-view
night.
thing, though.
This was
Yeah.
Ryback's night, man. Like, this was his night.
Good for him.
Good
Yeah.
feed
Right
him
clap.
more.
Right clap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's all for Raw this week.
That's all, folks.
How can they find you, Dale?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
You can find me at The Walking Dale on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me on Nerdist.com, where Chuck and myself host the Wrestling Compadre Slamcast. We got Alex Riley and Booker T tomorrow.
They feuding, baby. They feuding.
Heading towards that pose down.
That pre-show pose down.
Chuck, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at crice17. You can find me on Instagram at Chuck Rice. And you can find me in Every Week with Dale on Nerdist.
Wrestling Compadres. Carrlyn.
Nerdist Wrestling Compadres is a great show. Listen to it every week. I'm going to put them over. For real. And it's awesome. Okay. I'm Carrlyn, Carrlyn Bathe. That's how you can find me at Twitter and on Instagram and on Facebook if you want. I accept everybody's friend requests because
until you reach your limit.
Until I reach my 5,000 friend request
give
limit.
Like a Mickey Mouse kind of theme song like that, you know? Like
yeah. Carrlyn.
You have to sing it when you add you. Yeah.
Hard to say, hard to spell, so I always spell it out. And, yeah. What about you, girlfriend?
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelly. You can find me on Instagram at Cathy Kelly. You can find all of us here on Twitter and Instagram at AfterBuzz TV. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for being guests this week.
Thanks for having us.
And we love it.
Yeah. We will see you all next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.